Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. I'm ahead of myself. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And our card for this reading is the Ace of Swords. This has a lot to do with mindfulness, a change in your awareness, building and conceiving of new ideas. Okay, so I want to start right here actually. This is an interesting image. We have what looks like, it looks kind of like a devil figure with a tail, and then on this side we have kind of an angel, okay? And also looks like they might have a tail, but no, I'm going to say this is an angel and this is a devil, and they are locked in some kind of I won't say battle, but they're in some kind of tussle. So I feel like this is not you know, to get biblical or religious at all, but I do think that this is kind of like making a decision. You have the little angel on one shoulder, you have the little devil on the other, kind of pulling you both ways. So I think with this Ace of Swords energy, there seems to be a lot of clarity. Good time to make some decisions in your life. So we're lucky for that, aren't we? And so I think that whatever it is that you're kind of feeling back and forth about, being pulled one way or another, usually, and this is, you know, just my humble opinion, find somewhere in the middle, you know? I don't like to think of things in black or white terms, but I do like to think of things in what will be most useful, what will I be able to maintain, you know, what will yield the best outcome, okay? Not what's good and bad, you know, getting into these deeper discussions of, you know, whatever. But I do like to think about how it will make myself feel and other people feel as well. We hopefully set out to honor those we love and our larger community as well. So that is another thing to kind of think about. And I wonder what is this that's coming up for you? You know, what have you been kind of toiling about? Okay, let's see. And I'm hoping that still, I guess a couple, I wouldn't have been this reading. I feel like I'm maybe getting a little bit, it must be allergies because I was out doing yard work today. I felt fine. Now my chest feels a little crunchy, so I don't know. Okay, let's see. So now we turn it. It looks like a person standing. It looks like they're holding maybe like a wand. It looks like a check mark. Okay, behind it, a bird. So I am thinking this is a good time to be thinking about long-term goals, organizing, you know, what is it that you want to get done? What are your aspirations for the next year or so? What, you know, what are the prospects and all of that? What are you going to do next? When we get this Ace of Swords energy, which is so welcome during these periods of lots of retrogrades, right? I know my mind has been cluttered, kind of feels like an old beat up truck or something, just clunking along. But when we have these moments of clarity within all of the kind of elements working in different directions, it is a good time, I think, to yeah, sit down, think about what is the future going to look like for you, and what do you have already in place to make these things happen, right? I think that you're in a pretty proactive posture and really thinking about problem solving, definitely in a problem solving mode. So take advantage of that. Also, this person looks like they have a wand, so I feel like you are going to be making magic happen. I also think that this is definitely in this emotional and creative psychic space, but also in the physical world on the in the flat part of this bowl. So makes me think that you're going to be using some of your beautiful creativity, your motivation to be making some resources for yourself, okay? Probably making a little money, doing you know, something, maybe like a side job, second job, or something creative within the work that you already do. If you are not working and you're retired, or you're like me where you're kind of a stay-at-home parent, you know, it might be something kind of, you know, not your primary gig, but a kind of extra thing that you're doing. Maybe starting like a, what do they call those? Like a cottage baking or something, or, you know, selling things for Christmas, which is coming up soon. Oh, I already started making lists, and I just cannot believe it is going to be approaching so quickly. All right, so we have the little bird, and I think that this is like a blessing. We have actually a few birds, okay? That one looks like a butterfly. We'll talk about that. But we have a few birds on here. So, and the cat is eating, so I apologize. But we have a few birds. I feel like these are your ideas when we have these kind of air-bound creatures. Definitely creativity, imagination, daydreaming, okay? One thing I wanted to mention here is, and I see this person down here kind of in the spiritual zone, but gazing out this way, okay? If you can see that right there. So I feel that this is, you know, somebody maybe that has passed, somebody who, maybe an ancestor, an elder, somebody who looks over you. And I feel like there is a sense of, with all of these ideas coming about with this mental clarity, I feel like they are kind of sending through a message of, you know, use your time wisely and maybe take a break from some of your distractions, or at least temper the time they were. And I just actually talked about this in another reading, about kind of time management and optimizing the time we have. And I think that was Cancer. So I do think that you know, taking little breaks from using your phone so much. Maybe if you play games on there, or you're on social media, or watching TV, or, you know, checking your emails all the time, or whatever it is. By all means, don't stop completely, but it is so important that sometimes we really take a look at how many distractions do we have going on, right? Especially when we have this mental clarity, we don't want to squander it, you know? It's so, I mean, I can tell you so many days that I am feeling good. I'm going to get so many things done. You know, okay, I got 15 minutes to do this task, and then I'm going to change the laundry, get the kiddo, you know, in her shoes, and we're going to head out the door. Well, I stop for a second and think, oh, I'm going to check my phone for a second here. And then it's 20 minutes later. And how did that even happen? It's like I time warped, right? So, just being more aware of those in-between moments, right? Where time is just kind of like sand between your fingers, just pouring out and escaping you, eluding you. So that, you know, it's something to think about. And I'm not trying to come down on you, because I have the same issues. I think we almost all do, unless you were completely off of social media or whatever. Don't have a smartphone, which, you know what? I didn't have one for, until, I mean, I had one before. Then I got a flip phone for quite a few years. Then when I had my daughter, I thought, well, we better have, you know, something safe in case something comes up or whatever when I'm out in the world. And it really, the amount of time that I, you know, started using the phone, like, went up so much. Obviously, what are you gonna do on a flip phone, right? So, you know, it's pretty amazing. So anyways, we have a person kind of sitting here meditating. If you can see that right there. And we have two animals that look like they're kind of laying down, almost like a sphinx, okay? And so I feel like this really is a place of, like a time of contemplation, figuring out some of those ultimate riddles of your life. No, but problem solving, figuring out some of the things that you just haven't been able to quite get going. I think that there's going to be some opportunities presenting themselves, and it is going to be through your own kind of, you know, realigning things in your life. You're going to be thinking about it. It's going to hit you. You're going to say, okay, maybe if I do this instead of that, that will work. You know, it will come at a weird time, maybe like in the shower, right before you're going to sleep, 3 o'clock in the morning, who knows? But maybe have a pad of paper available so you can write this down or put it on your phone or whatever. If you get on your phone late at night to make a list, don't go to another app. You'll be wasting time again. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, and I wanted to look at this way, because it really does look like an angel. I feel like you really have a lot of, and this one kind of looks like an angel too, but you have a lot of protection happening right now. I don't know what it is, but it seems like just this time of, maybe it's the time of year, maybe there's some kind of anniversary coming up and there's like a lot of emotional stuff around that, or I don't know, but things are just kind of working out where it feels like this energy is very present. There's a lot of light in your life, and you really have this kind of guardian person there. You have the angels there blessing you, okay? And now this one's interesting. It kind of almost looks like a person kicking at a heart. But it also looks like the heart is kind of blossoming off of a flower. So I feel like maybe, and I say this in the nice way, maybe you have to be a little mindful of somebody's heart. You might be stomping on it a little bit, but I don't know, you know, is this somebody you're in a relationship with, or is there somebody who's like interested in you and you're not interested in them? And you're kind of like, okay, let me, let me, you know, let them off easily. Maybe they're not taking, you know, that very well, or they're not listening, and you just kind of have to really let them know. Either way, you know, just, as I always say to anybody I know, young, old, in the middle, be careful with people. Just because, especially when somebody is so moved to express their interest in you, you know, you never know how somebody's going to react, and we have to protect ourselves. So just be mindful. If somebody is being persistent with you, please let people in your life know. You know, that's the mom in me, and also having to deal with people. And, you know, the more we get out there on the YouTubes and stuff, we're dealing with more weird stuff happening behind the scenes with people who watch and stuff, and on social media. So I'm like hyper aware of that. And you know, it's just part of life as well, you know, for anybody really. So just be vigilant, be careful, let people know what's going on. Don't, you know, you try to shrug things off. You don't want to think about it too deeply. And, you know, I just worry sometimes that it just goes the wrong way. Some people just can't handle rejection. And, yeah, it hurts. But, you know, some people just don't know how to navigate those feelings. And so when you are on the other side of that and they kind of, you know, don't take it well, you have to be careful. Okay. And I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but I feel like this maybe is just kind of an unrequited thing. You maybe are married or, you know, in a relationship, or just not interested in relationships, and they just can't understand that. You know, which it's wild, but there's a lot of people out there, they just, you know, I don't know. They don't have boundaries, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, I also see up here, this looked like a bird. It also, in this direction in this light, it looks like a roller skate. So it seems like you, you know, once you get through some of that stuff, well, I think really this is about just your capacity right now to really be coming up with some really interesting, innovative, setting goals, you know, having clear ideas of how you want to do that. You are just going, you know, if you've ever roller skated, rollerbladed or whatever, and you get going on those, you know exactly that feeling. All right, let's see what we have over here. Okay, so we have a fish. We have a fish and ooh, and as I see this, we have a stop sign. So rotating it around. Okay, so I mean, I don't think, oh no, I got some little T on the card. I don't think this is unlike what we just talked about, you know, just kind of setting some boundaries, stop, you know, listening to yourself. We had that conflict between kind of the angel and the little demon over here. So I think, you know, just kind of controlling emotions, finding a middle way, you know, making sure you're protecting yourself. And then with the fish, I think that, you know, on the other side of this reading where we're talking about making plans and your goals, I do see that this is going to be this next season coming up. I feel like there are going to be the beginnings of some really kind of successful things for you. Maybe a raise, maybe you're starting a new, like I said, a new venture, kind of a side thing. That might go more well than you could even imagine. So I think a lot of good things coming your way, Libra. Lots of good things. Okay. Now, we are looking at the lightness of being, lightness of being, here, lightness of being affirmation cards, okay? And these are the earth cards. We've done the other 3 elements. Last week, I think we did the water. Oh, and I just kind of, and I'm going to do this one. I haven't seen very many dragonflies in the last couple of weeks. We had a lot before. Okay, so we have epiphany and trust. Allow feelings of rejection. There we go. Confirmation to become transparent. Okay, see through to only love. It just sometimes works out that way, right? Yeah, so I think that this is the vibe, like getting over some rejection stuff. I think you're the one that's maybe doing the rejecting, but I think that, you know, honestly, and this is not always the case. This is not me like victim blaming at all, because I have dealt with some people who in my life, when I was younger, especially when I was like a real pretty little thing, you just deal with people who just, you know, do not treat you well. And when you reject them, it's just, it can be scary, right? And you can't, there's nothing you can do about that. Some people are just unwell and they do not know how to treat other people. But I do think that when we go into situations where we are, you know, saying no, being in a place of, knowing how it feels to be rejected, trying to be careful with somebody, you know, don't string them along. Of course, you have to just tell them no, but, you know, with kindness. Sometimes it just, you know, I don't know what to say. Like people, there's a little bit of kindness in with it. They think that there's still hope, or I don't know. So it's hard. I mean, it's so hard to figure out how to do that. But I do think, yes, coming from a place of love for yourself, especially, and setting some firm boundaries, you know, I don't know. I'm just at a point in my life where I'm old or older. I'm not, you know, I perceive myself to be old. I know people, oh, you're not old. I'm older than you. Well, it's a state of mind, you know. It's not about how old you are, but I feel like I've lived a lot of lives. And so I plainly do not care, and will say, I mean, I care, but you know, I'll say things how they are. I'm not interested. Absolutely not. Sorry, you know, thank you very much. You know, this lady is, married, and, you know, just, if you want to share some fun things that you enjoy, some fun facts, some interesting music, some art, I'm here for it. But other than that, man, I'm not the one. And, you know, I think, you know, it's hard. It's especially more difficult, I think, when you're young. And, of course, when you're a single person. But, you know, like I said, there are people out there, they just don't even care if you're married or not. I mean, which is wild. But, you know, that's the way it is, I guess. And, you know, I don't know. I have no good advice except for to just be honest and careful and let people know. And if it seems like somebody is, you know, really too persistent, blocking everything, making sure, even if you have to involve, you know, other people, the authorities, whatever, just protect yourself. You never know in this world. I mean, it really is, it can be scary, you know, people are, anyways, it's the eve of my birthday. And this is my last reading. I am so excited to go take 2 seconds to hug my husband, give him a kiss, and then go to bed. So I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it really does help get the algorithm going, which helps the channel just grow, really. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Between now and the next Libra, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, Venus, cross-watching. Somebody asked me last week about what is the most important placement to watch, and you know, ultimately I really think it just depends on like where your mind is at, like what are you looking for in a reading. But also my advice is maybe watch like your main 3 and take from each reading what resonates with you. The rest of it you can leave, and then just string them together. I mean, this is what I do when I go watch tarot readings or whatever. I watch the main 3, and then I just take the pieces that make sense for me, my life, that really like I feel they're like, you know, I have some emotional reaction to, and I just kind of piece that stuff together. I like to have like a little piece of paper. I'm so old school, I know. In all my reading, I'm like, have a piece of paper to make a list. And I know a lot of people have, like, I have a phone. I can just put it on my phone. I like to write though. So I just have a piece of paper. I write down the points that really kind of, you know, pique my interest and that are relatable for me. So you can do it that way, or, you know, however you like, really. There's no right or wrong way. So other than that, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. They mean so much to me. And sometimes it takes me a day or 2 to get back to you. And that's because I reply back to all of them, and it takes time to read them and reply back. So that's why. But yeah, other than that, I want to say thank you again. Lots of love, and we'll talk in just a few days. All right, bye.